Good morning, students of class 11. Welcome to your online classes of English ASL. ASL, today we will be doing listening activity for class 7th. Today we will be starting with unit number 6, digital or print. Now, under listening activity, I would be reading the conversation for you. You have to listen to that conversation very carefully and very attentively and answer the question that follows. Now I would be reading the conversation for you. Listening. You will listen to a group discussion between three people. Pradeep, a high school student, Raj, a college student, and Mukul, an executive. The topic is, do libraries used books or e-books? What is the topic? Do library need books or e-books, you could say. As you listen, tick the statement that are true. The question that follows below. That means you have to tick the true statement. While listening to the conversation, you have to tick the true statement. Now I would be reading the conversation for you. Listen to the conversation very carefully and very attentively. Mukul, let me begin this discussion by saying, what a question. The richest part of my school and college education was the time I spent reading books from the library. I no longer have any use for geometry. I don't do history projects, but I do read a book every day. The library is a treasure house with new books waiting to be found. Now, what Raj says, I am not sure. I completely agree with that. As a student, when I am doing research for a project, for example, going online is faster and more accurate. The book in the library may be old or outdated. Online research is quicker and more up to date. Now, what Mukul says now? For me personally, I found the opposite to be true. When I was a student, I tried studying from e-textbooks and found that impossible. It is very hard to concentrate when the internet is just a click away. Now, what Pradeep says, that is so true. As a high school student, I spend a lot of time in front of the computer, either messaging or on social media. I spend very little time online actually studying. Reading from a book is one of the few activities that gives me a real break from being in front of a screen. Now, what Raj says now, that's not true for me. Students like me use the internet for nearly every assignment, using online encyclopedia, texts, blogs, and other websites. Electronic resources make precise research possible. I could not imagine spending hours searching through piles of books. It would take too long to complete assignments. Now, what Pradeep says, I can only speak for myself. I hope schools continue to have libraries. For me, there is a difference between reading something on a screen and something printed. If my best source of textbook of reference is a device, I will spend my entire life in front of a screen. I don't think I would like that very much. Now, what Mukul says now, I could not agree more. Ideally, a library should have stacks of books along with digital collections for research and study. The library is a learning place. The Kindle, Nook, or iPad won't change the library as long as things are learned. Now, what Raj says at last? Well, yes, actually, I have to agree. After all that I have said about reference online, at the end of the day, when I need to relax, I usually pick up a book and read before falling asleep. Now, this is the conversation. Now, you have to answer the questions which are given below. You have to take the correct statement. Now, see, listening questions. Part A, you will listen to a group of discussion between three people. Pradeep, a high school student, Raj, a college student, and Mukul, an executive. He is in executive. The topic is, do library needs books or e-books? As you listen, take the statement that are true. You have to take the statement which are true. Okay, you have already listened to the conversation. You have listened to the conversation. Now you have to mark the correct true statement. Now see, point number 1. Books increase our knowledge. You have to mark it right or wrong. Point number 2. Online research is fast. You have to mark right or wrong. Point number 3. Online research is outdated. You have to mark right or wrong. Point number 4. E-textbooks are hard to study from. You have to mark right or wrong. Fifth statement, students use the computer a lot. You have to mark right or wrong according to the conversation. Point number 6, online resources include texts and blogs. You have to mark right or wrong according to the conversation. Point number 7. Research through books is slow. You have to mark right or wrong according to the conversation. Point number 8. An ideal library has only printed books. You have to mark right and wrong. Point number 9. The library helps learning. You have to mark right and wrong. Point number 10. Books helps us relax. You have to mark right and wrong. You have to mark right and wrong in the boxes. Now, listen again to the conversation and complete task B questions now. Now, task B question is what? You have to choose the correct option. You have to tick the correct option. Only one question is there. Tick the correct option. To sum up, now options are: point number A good modern library should have all the latest books. Point number B, a good modern library should have the best printed and digital collections. Point number C, option number C, a good modern library should have the best reference material. You have to take the correct option in this. Okay. So this is the listening task for you. You have to do it. Okay. You have to complete it within time. Thank you all of you. God bless you all.